The social media landscape across the Carolina barbecue scene's full of characters and personalities. And while there's plenty of people sharing recipes and reviews, nobody's doing it quite like today's guest on the Low and Slow Barbecue Show. Sure, he's bringing food reviews, but at the same time, Tim Shropshire is also bringing a ton of humor, a glimpse into his personal life, and a one of a kind spotlight on some of his favorite food stops. Now he's getting ready to host his next edition of Shrop Fest. That's May 17th at Phillips Place Farms in Cary. So we're excited to welcome Tim, the man Shrop, to the Low and Slow Barbecue Show. Shrop, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, you know it, man. What's the word, brother? Hope you're feeling well. Thank you for the incredible intro. That's got to be top three.
Well, top three, at least today, I'm sure. But I can't wait to find out more about Shrop Fest. First, a quick reminder for our first-time listeners and some of our returning fans, please visit our website, lowslowbbqshow.com. That's where you'll find interviews with pitmasters from across the Carolinas. We got blogs with recipes and restaurant details, reviews. You can also check us out on Instagram at Low and Slow Barbecue Show. You'll see pictures and videos from the Carolina Barbecue Fest this past weekend in Uptown Charlotte. And also subscribe to our newsletter, The Lowdown. We'll send the latest Carolina barbecue news and events to your email inbox on Tuesday mornings just before the dawn breaks. And of course, we always include a calendar of upcoming food truck stops, competitions, festivals, just like Shrop Fest, a festival of wings and ribs and Shrop. Before we get into all that coming up May 17th, let's meet the man, Tim, outside, on the outside chance that maybe people don't know about you. And I know that's hard to believe, but in case they don't, tell us about who you are and how you got into doing comedy stuff.
Man, born and raised Fayetteville, North Carolina. So military kid, parents military, but raised in Southern church culture, and that was home for me. Played football all my life. That was just my world. Went to college and played at North Carolina A&T in Greensboro, North Carolina. Was on a football scholarship, and when it came down to a career, I realized we won't playing football no more. I was like, I ain't we them dreams over with. So when it came down to career and what I wanted to do, I was like, man, I read my pastor's book called Understanding Your Divine Calling. And simply after reading that, I was like, hey, I want to play ball, which I was doing. And I want to make people laugh. If I'm going to be honest with myself, if I could spend the rest of my life making people laugh, I feel fulfilled. And that was the honest assessment when, after reading that book. And we got into stand-up comedy, and we've been doing it ever since 2008. Is when I've been doing, stand-up comedy, and got into creating content around about 2017, and started promoting brands. And that's how we got into that whole barbecue thing, just exploring there, probably right in 2021. But as far as comedy, been doing it, since 2008. Is been doing stand-up. I do clean comedy, so a lot of it was churches booking me. First, it was just nursing homes booking me. If you was 85, I was up in there. It was the jokes and applesauce tour, So I've been, like I said, a lot of churches across the country started booking me, and then when we started get into creating content, that's when I started traveling a lot. And that's probably like really opened me up to like this culinary cuisines and just trying different foods all across the country. And my wife's from London, England. So when I tried food over in London, I'm like, man, like just we went to Ghana not too long ago in West Africa, trying foods over there, and I was like, so it opens up your palate, opens up those things there. But yeah, comedy has been just the nucleus of what I do, and no matter what I do, if I'm again being a former student athlete. I get pulled in sometimes speak to athletes and student athletes, however. So I always had to add a little bit of humor into whatever I do. If it's encouraging somebody, whatever, it's parenting, whatever. It's always a touch of humor. So when we lay it up to the food reviews, well, we lead with comedy, and so that's how we do.
Yeah, from a time when you were a small child, did people kind of know that this guy's got something about him? He's funny. It's not just you want to fulfill people with laughter, but maybe something that comes natural. Did you ever feel like that?
No, I didn't really. It was just one of those things. I wasn't raised in a dark home where I had to be the light. It was already lit. So it was already humor around me. It was so normal
Mm.
that I didn't know it wasn't normal until I, met other people like, oh, so y'all didn't sit at the table and tell funny stories and hear your dad tell all the army stories and you laugh like, oh, your uncle don't do that. Y'all. Oh, okay. My family must be different. So it was just a norm to share stories, to laugh. That was all. That was our world. I think it really clicked when I got to college, and I knew I loved making people laugh, but I felt like I had to take a back seat to comedy when I got to college because, man, those guys were hilarious. My teammates, they were hilarious. And I always said to myself, I was like, well, hey, I guess my funny days are over because these these are the guys. These are the comedians of the team. These are the class clowns. So I literally said to myself, I'm taking a back seat and I'm watching them roll. That is correct. And and somehow the seniors, the older guys, pulled me to the front when we had the pep rallies. I'm like, nah, Shrop, you out there. I'm like, no, I'm just a freshman. No, get out. And that kind of, I feel like college gave me that boost of confidence and validation, and also a little inkling of knowing like, hey, you got something on you. I
Mm.
didn't figure it out, but it was like, how y'all gonna say I'm funny enough to be okay?
Mm.
And that's what started this journey
Mhm.
of just embracing who I was, and also knowing that there's something brewing with comedy. Didn't know what it was, but something's brewing. Now that we're in and all in, my buddies look back at me like, oh yeah, we already knew. Like, y'all ain't say nothing. I ain't know. Like, so something was brewing.
Yeah. Well, so you mentioned it briefly. You've been to a lot of different venues, but how would you describe your comedy shows? They're not the typical thing, I guess. And maybe you've got kind of your own style. Tell me a little bit about what someone would expect if they came out to one of your shows.
The biggest thing is it's honest. One thing that someone probably will notice right off bat after listening to is like notice that I don't cuss on stage. So I don't curse on stage. And it's not a way of me saying because I'm better than someone or however. I just don't curse. Again, it goes back to upbringing,
Hmm.
and so but I'm honest as well on stage. I'm honest and I'll tell you what I saw and how I feel, but how I communicate it can be received by so many different people. I wouldn't say it's super kid friendly because I may talk about marriage and my wife and hello somebody. We may go there a little bit, but it's clean enough where I can have that conversation. But yeah, so it's clean comedy. It's what I do, but I'm a storyteller. So people always say, man, how did you come up with that joke? I'm like, nah, that wasn't no joke. That really happened. Like that really happened. So 99.9% of my jokes are true. And so I tell my life. But yeah.
And it's been successful. 17 years of doing it, and now you've kind of evolved, as you said, into the content and getting into the food and the barbecue and trying all that stuff. Tell me, you take me into your barbecue journey. Being down east, you had to have had barbecue growing up, but
Oh
tell
yeah.
me how you got into barbecue and what made you think, hey, this is something I ought to try to start creating content around.
Man, I tell you, man, and it's probably one of the coolest transitions. And I was just doing a little show earlier this morning on live, and I was just saying, like, you don't really know what it is that you're supposed to do. You have an inkling of knowing. It's not until you do the thing that you're supposed to do that leads you to the next thing, leads you to the next thing, and leads you to the next thing. Like, you probably didn't say how I wanted to create this podcast 30 years ago. It like something led you to it,
Mm.
And so for me, I just wanted to make people laugh and just started creating content. And you know, I like food like the next person. I saw the food shows just like how you see it, and the diners, drive-ins, and all that stuff. And I even said to myself, man, I think that's one of the coolest jobs in the world. To go around the world, have cameras following you, and you're trying food. Like, what? That's a
Yeah.
job? That's crazy. And I left it at that. But I did say to my mom at one time, I was like, that is a cool job. And that's that. But it wasn't until we started creating content, and we started creating content one to help build our fan base because I know I wanted to tour, and I knew I wanted to go outside of North Carolina. So
Hmm.
touring, you got to have a fan base. So creating content was the avenue. We did that. We did that. We did that. got a good success in it, got about 200,000 followers. And that I'm thinking like, hey, let's hit the road. But the pandemic hits.
Mm.
And we're like, oh man, we can't hit the road. Out of nowhere, this guy asked me to promote his RV park. And I promote his RV park. And I'm like, he's like, promote it because you got a good following. You got more followers than I do. He said, I got 400 followers. You got 200,000 followers. Just say something about my RV park. We'll fly you down to Houston. And I'm like, okay, so I do that. And then I do another business. And then this one messed up. A girl who has a catering business, said, hey, I would love for you to promote my catering business. She said, can I come over to your house and cook for you? I said,
Whoa.
you gonna pay me to eat your food at my house? I said, you can
Yeah.
come tonight. And so when she came over to the house, my family was like, I hope she can cook. I said, me too. She made her food, made some brunch. Video went well. Another chef saw it out of Maryland, flew me up to Maryland, was like, hey, I'm gonna show you a bigger and better brunch. From doing that one video, 80 chefs all across the country started hitting me up within
Wow.
24 hours. And that's what started this food review journey. So my manager looked at me and she's like, hey, Tim, your business promotionals are going well, but the numbers and the engagement of your food reviews are crazy. She
Mm.
said, I think we should lean in on these food reviews. And I was like, I won't mind. I said, no, nobody gonna turn down a good meal. And
Yeah.
especially when it's coming from private. At the time, it was majority private chefs.
Mm.
And so that's what started this whole food review journey. And so I brand myself as a chicken wing guy, love wings and all that. But I tell my friends, I'm like, truth be told, one of my favorites is barbecue. I just never been able to explore barbecue.
Mm.
So the time that somebody would say, hey, what's your favorite food? Is wings, isn't it? I would say, man, you give me a nice beef rib, I like it.
Ooh, yeah.
But I just never was able to explore foods like that. So again, I'm from North Carolina. We're the we're the number 2 hog producer, so we're big in chopped barbecue, but I respect it more than I like it.
Mm.
And the art of it, the science of it, but I can't have too much pork. Y'all ain't gonna have me. My blood pressure going. And so, and for me, um, it has to be the right vinegar base, barbecue sauce for it to win me over. But it's some kind could be too vinegar for me. So I never was really, again, I'm a fan of the art in the process of it, but I would for consuming it, I really didn't. The only type of pork I would do was maybe a spare rib. You give me a great spare rib, we can go
Mm.
to town. You know what I'm saying? But still, I watched it in there. It wasn't until I went to Austin, Texas, and for I'm not sure what it was, but a friend of mine said, hey, Shrop, let's go get something to eat. He took me to a place called Rudy's and in Austin, Texas.
Yep.
And I went there and he said, and he's like, man, you get some brisket. And I was like, I didn't have brisket. It's dried out. Just give me a chicken thigh. So he said, no, Shrop, you gotta try brisket down here in
Right.
Texas. So I'm like, and I looked at the screen and it said you can get it moist or very moist. And I said, oh, I ain't never heard it like that. I said, order me whatever. He said, you order it by the pound. And so maybe order some. And when I bit into my first piece of brisket, Texas brisket, I immediately fell in love. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so for the longest, and so that set me out on the journey of I gotta come down here to Texas. So I would try to find shows in Texas, events in Texas just to go. I don't care what you pay me to do stand up. If I saw Fort Worth, Texas come up, I'm booking it. I don't care who it was for. If it could have been a Jehovah Witness conference. I don't care.
Yeah.
Book me. I was like, I gotta get to Texas because I know no one cooks Texas style barbecue in North Carolina until I met a guy here in North Carolina. Huge fan of theirs. And that's what let me start. And I was just start asking questions about barbecue. And I knew I had it in it when I saw it was accessible. I started asking more questions, and I just went on I think I just did a barbecue series last July, and I'll do another one this year, and just trying some of the best barbecue. And again, my favorites is Texas style barbecue. So I'm a brisket fan. Yeah, man, I can have it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Well,
Okay.
let me ask you, you called somebody out there in the Carolinas, and we're a Carolina-based show here. So tell me who that is that's brought you the Texas style brisket. I think I have an idea, but
Man,
tell me who it is,
I
and
gotta
maybe tell me some of your other Carolina favorite
I
styles.
gotta shout him out. His hat's probably over here somewhere. It's John G's
John
barbecue.
G. Yep.
John G's barbecue is Garen is phenomenal. Garen Kirkman is phenomenal.
Yep.
Phenomenal is not a word. He's an expert and he's mastered the craft of 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 barbecue, Texas style barbecue. And
Yeah.
it's done in such a great way. Again, I'm a North Carolina guy. I respect brisket enough to tell somebody, no, I don't want your brisket because you tried to cook it like Texas barbecue, and I'm like, it's dried out, it's small, it's thin. Like, no, don't do that to brisket like that. Just give me a pot roast. It's all good. Give me a pot roast. Give me some stewed beef. Give me some beef
Right.
tips. And so I was like, hey, I know where to get barbecue from. I'll just wait for Texas. And I saw the plating of it, and I said, oh man, this looks special. What is this? And when I went, I was amazed by it. But after going a couple of times, and again, I'm the type of guy that I'll get there at 6:45 and wait in line. Like
Yeah,
I'm
that's
that
what you got
type
to
of
do in
person.
Peachland. Yeah.
I'll do it. And it wasn't until my respect level and how I admired it didn't increase until I went back to Texas and I went to Goldie's. I went to
Mm.
Goldie's in Fort Worth.
Yep.
And I said, because they at the time, I think what last year, the year before last, they was ranked number one and by Texas Monthly. And I said, I gotta try Goldie's. I love the story about everything they did. So I was like, man, let me go. And when I went there, got there super early as well. And I bit into the beef rib, and I was like, this is not better than John G's.
Mm.
And I said, and I was going to Goldie's to meet Goldie's and the crew and get my merch because I've been watching on YouTube, and I was
Sure.
like, I feel horrible that I don't have any John G's merch. And I went all the way to Texas to get, and I was like, and I went back to Garen at John G's. I apologized to him. He said, what are you talking about? I was like, bro, I owe you more credit than credit's due. I was like, dude, I to compare it to the best, supposedly, by Texas Monthly. And I'm like, man, Garen, you're not just my holder till I get to Texas barbecue. Man, you got it.
Yeah.
You're in the conversation, brother.
Sure.
And I was like, we got a gem right here. We got a
Mm-hmm.
gem right here in North Carolina. And from the proteins to the sides. And I was like, yo, and I was like, I need every hat you got. I need every shirt you got. I wore it on stage at my comedy shows. And but he does it so well. And I tell him, I was like, man, I said, be honest with you, you teach me more than than better than some comics do in regards to how to write comedy, by
Mm.
how you prep your barbecue. I
Yeah.
was like, it teaches me because you're not supposed to just put out anything. It's like you perfect this thing. I remember, I don't know if it's okay to say, but I remember Garen told me one time that he threw away pounds of sausage, of his links. He said because they
Mm-hmm.
weren't right. He was like, nah, man, we can. I was like, you do that? I said, I would have sold them jokes at half price. But he's that particular of the quality of his brand, and it
Yeah.
shows. And then it taught me from a marketing standpoint, because we always say, hey, I'm from a little town from here. That's why I can't do this. What he taught me, not by his words, but by just their existence, is that if you're good, they will find you and they will show up.
Mm.
They're in Peachland, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Population 5 people. And
Yeah. And when the show's in town, it's probably 50 when the barbecue's open.
and and so it let me know, and I work with a lot of restaurants because of doing promotional stuff there, and they were like, man, it's the location and where I'm at. And I always think of John G's. I'm like, nah, it's not the location. It's not the location.
Yeah.
It's probably your food. So
Yeah.
but yeah, John G's, man, is and I, honestly I lean on him for, hey, I'm in LA. Where should I go? I'm in Richmond, Virginia, I'm in I think I was in where I was at Virginia Beach. He was like, man, go to Red Smoke. I think Red Smoke or Redwood Barbecue, something like that. Red Smoke, something like that. He's right. Boom.
Yeah.
So I've been traveling around, and I'll shoot a little text like, hey, I'm over here. What you think? So and then someplace I
Yeah.
think I was in Little Rock, Arkansas a few weeks ago for my comedy tour that I was on. Shout out to Kev on stage for bringing me on the road. And first place I looked up was barbecue. And so I went to Wright's Barbecue down in
Hmm.
man,
Yeah.
man, man, some good
It,
stuff, man.
For
Some good
sure, for
stuff.
sure. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's great to give John G those accolades. Him and his wife Kelly and their family doing a great job there in Peachland. And you mentioned Texas Monthly; he's gotten some of those accolades there from Daniel Vaughn as well. So
Yep.
definitely a place worth checking out. Let's talk about Shrop's Wing Fest with the remainder of our time here. How did you get started with the Wing Festival?
Man, I think it's one of the things that just led to another. Getting into Shrop Fest, it would just I guess when you're being asked a question too many times, you're like, I guess I should consider. Hey man, you should do your own. One I always hear like, hey, you should have your own sauce, you should have your own seasoning, or hey, where you do reviews at the forks are too small. Let's get some Shrop forks or Shrop utensils. And then I'll hear like, hey man, you should throw a competition, a wing competition. And it kind of came around so much because again, I have a show that I do, Shrop's Only Wings, where I try to find the best wings in the land. And so I
Hmm.
rank the wings and kind of go from there. And so I just was asked too many times when you gonna do one. And finally I stopped saying no, I'm not. I said, yeah, I'm doing it. And I literally just and I'm figuring it out as I go along.
Right.
Didn't know how serious the competition
Oh yeah.
barbecue world is. And I was like, oh no, I'm just trying to rank a wing. I just like
Yeah.
ribs. I'm gonna just rank some ribs. I never had been to a wing competition. I never had been to a rib competition. I did not know. I'm just in the search of the best or some good barbecue. So I didn't know it was so serious to the
Hmm.
point where, hey, are your judges certified? I'm like, oh, certified judge? No. Who's the meat supplier? Oh, I don't know. Y'all ain't bringing the meat. And so I was like, oh, it's a world. And
Hmm.
so mine's slightly different because I'm not doing a competition style of whatever the national. I don't know. It's probably some certification you gotta have. No, it's just me and some friends just eating some good food. And but we got about 30 trucks that are coming. We're gonna do it in Cary, North Carolina, and which is right outside of Raleigh. And we're going to we got about 10 wing trucks, about 7 pit masters that are coming through, and some going to be in the part of the competition, some just going to serve the general public, and we're just going to eat some good food, have a good time. It's a family friendly family park, so they got a mega slide there, and like apple launchers and all this little stuff, that rides for the kids, and it's super fun, face painting, petting zoo for the little donkey. They're gonna be out there. It's gonna be really cool. So I gotta see how many acres it is. It is huge, but it's
Hmm.
so fun. It's fun without the food trucks. So we're gonna add the food on top of that, and I'm just gonna be out mingling with the people, having a good time. But we're gonna also do a competition. The winner gets for the best wing. I'm not getting into the best spicy, the best creative flavor, but I'm just doing the best wing, and I'm
And is
doing
it
the
just
best
you
rib.
judging?
So I'm having about four. It's about 4 judges that we're going to have there,
Okay.
and so nobody's certified. Nobody. It's just we go off of just mere taste and the fun
Yeah.
of good food, and we're just doing that. And the winner gets $1,000. Best
Well,
wing is $1,000.
mm.
So I'm looking for $1,000 wing, and I'm doing the same thing for a rib, $1,000 rib, and that's how we doing it.
Yeah, well, that sounds like a great time, fun for the whole family, and everybody
Yeah,
else can come out and eat too, whether you're
yeah,
judging or not. You get to
yeah.
taste what you describe as the certified wing. And hey, everybody's certified to eat. You don't need Southern Barbecue Network or the Kansas City Barbecue Society to tell you
No,
that. You got a
no.
mouth and teeth, you are certified to
You're
eat.
certified. You know what's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Okay. So, Shrop, tell us what is on the future horizon for you. And, let me just kind of give you a plug. I've got you at Tim Shrop Comedy. That's where people can find you on Instagram. I look down here and see the Necklace and the Unashamed Comedy Tour. You're
Yes,
going to be
sir.
hitting it in the Magic Tragic City, my hometown of Birmingham, Alabama on June
Yes,
8th.
sir.
But beyond that, what all's on the horizon for Tim?
Yeah, well, we shot our comedy special. I believe it was the last year or so, and so I'm looking for that to get picked up by network streaming services. So that's one of
Mm-hmm.
the things that we're looking forward to, and we want to. The goal is just to turn everything that I do now into shows. So the skits I do will later turn into like a skit, a sitcom format, so that we can
Mm-hmm.
release it weekly. We'd love to take these shows that are these food reviews and turn into a wing show or a barbecue show, and just continue to explore and travel the world. Simply whatever I'm doing right now, I just want to do it and just on a bigger level. That's simply that, because I feel like I'm doing the formula, and that's the one thing I'm happy about. And so we're in the infant stages of all of this, from the tours, from the comedy specials, to the skits that we create. I want to continue to create those and do it bigger and better. That's all.
Well, it's a great formula you got there, and I enjoy it. And again, Tim Shrop Comedy, you can see him on Instagram. Saw your trip down to Texas not long ago. Again,
Yep.
just really entertaining stuff, and you can learn a little bit along the way. Maybe find
Yep.
some tips for your favorite barbecue place to be. We're gonna wrap it up, Tim, here with the low and slow barbecue showdown. So I've got some questions for you. Just really
Okay.
need a one-word answer, unless you want to explain. All right, you all set?
Let's go for it.
All right. So, what's the name of the barbecue joint that you grew up on?
Ooh, didn't have one. That's probably why I like
Really?
barbecue. I didn't grow up
Wow.
at a nope, nope, nope. Didn't have a barbecue spot I grew up on. Not nope. Golden
Fair
Corral.
enough. You
Golden Corral.
mentioned your favorites, probably John G's around the Carolinas. Have you
Hmm?
got a place that you want to visit, but you haven't made it to yet?
Place that I haven't visited yet. What's your guy that's out in LA that does the it's a barbecue guy out there that I saw online that I said I want to try. Th- Honestly, pretty much I've been to all the places that I want to try.
Well,
I just
hey,
yeah.
that's quite an accomplishment. So
Well, I mean,
when you
but I do on that. I do got to try. I do got to go to Franklin. I got to go to Snows. So I got to do those two. I'll put
get
those
down
on.
there and check out those, they're
Yeah.
high rankers on the list there for Texas Monthly. When you get to the barbecue joint, what's your favorite protein?
Brisket. Yep.
Brisket. Your favorite
Brisket.
dessert?
My favorite dessert, typically not at barbecue spots, but peach cobblers is my favorite peach cobbler.
Yeah, there's plenty of barbecue joints that have peach cobbler. The good ones do anyway. So,
Right, right.
not necessarily a barbecue question, but what's something that you will never order on the menu?
Raw onions. I hate
You
raw
see a lot
onions.
of raw onions on the menu?
I'm just saying, I just don't do raw onions. I just when we come to barbecue, barbecue wise, I'll pretty much order anything just to try it.
Yeah,
Even if it's something, because if it's something I haven't had, I'll at least try it. I'll at least
yeah,
try it.
right on.
Yeah.
So, what is the best state in these United States for barbecue?
Oh, it's Texas. Yeah.
Disagree and agree to disagree there. But if you're in North Carolina, what is the best North Carolina barbecue style? Is it Eastern? Is it Lexington? Or is it the mustard of South Carolina?
Um, I would say, if I'm doing it too, I would say North Carolina, the Eastern North Carolina.
Eastern, right?
Yep, yeah, Eastern, yep, yep, yep. I'll
Vinegar
say
base.
Eastern.
Okay. So
Vinegar,
is
yeah,
the barbecue better with or without the sauce? Do you have to have sauce to enjoy it?
yeah. You gotta hit it with a little bit of You gotta hit a little vinegar. I don't know too many people that would do chopped barbecue without that vinegar, but you gotta have it on that. Yeah. Even if you don't like, again, I'm not the biggest fan, but you got to dab a little bit on there.
Yeah. So last question is sometimes the hardest for folks. Is barbecue a verb or a noun?
Person, place, or thing. Barbecue. um, I guess it's both. Barbecue is a place, but also it's a verb. It's something that you do. So I feel like it is a verb because it's something that you do. Yeah, it's work.
Barbecue is work. And there it is, the final word from comedian Tim Shropshire, the host of Shrop Fest coming up May 17th at
Yeah.
Phillips Place Farms in Cary. Visit Shrop's Instagram page and learn more. Get tickets. That's Tim Shrop Comedy on Instagram. Tim, thanks so much for joining the podcast today.
Man, thanks so much, Chicker. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, you've been listening to the Low and Slow Barbecue Show. If you like what you hear, give us a 5-star rating on your favorite podcast stream, share our podcast with your friends, and visit us at lowslowbbqshow.com. You can sign up for our newsletter. You can see us on YouTube. You'll see me and Tim talking there on the YouTube channel. We got video from all of our other pitmasters as well. Thanks to our production team at the Mesh.tv network of podcasts, especially Andrew Moose, the man behind the monitors. And thanks again to our guest, Tim Shropshire. Most especially, thank you for listening. Remember, for the best barbecue and the best barbecue podcast, make it low and slow.